Hello guys, welcome to the WrightReview. Here we do movies, old and new, video games, TV show, and animation. I'm doing this with my dad.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Today we're doing The Green Mile, released in 1999. Dad, talking about the story.
Oh, okay. Well, it's basically about a death row unit in a prison in the 1930s, late 1930s in the South. I guess the lead character is the head CO on the unit, and of course, as you know, it's death row, so all the inmates that come through there wind up going to the electric chair because it's still the 30s. They have electric chairs back then, and but they get a couple of interesting inmates on the unit as the time go by, and you see some different things happening, and you learn different things about majority of the people on the block. But I've seen the movie before. It's a good movie. But this is your first time seeing it. How did you like the movie?
I liked it. It's had good characters and bad. Lots of bad. I liked some of the shots. I like the story.
Crazy, I don't know what. There's a good story. I know you liked it because you said the death row unit is it's like they made it into like it's a small knit community, like how they filmed it. I mean, of course, everybody doesn't want to be there, especially the inmates. But yeah, it's a cool movie. But let's get back to the main things we supposed to be talking about. What's your favorite characters? Or not your favorite characters. Talk about some of the characters that you liked or didn't like.
My first character is John Walker. Coffee.
You call that man Johnny Walker. He's a young drunk.
John Coffee. I liked him. He's a black man.
Mm-hmm.
And he got put in jail for a crime of murdering 2 little girls. They make a very big point throughout the movie that he is very tall.
Yeah.
He's a good-spirited person.
Well, he seems that way anyway. But
he seems.
I don't know if you are. If you killed 2 little girls, raped them.
It seems he has a good heart. He's little. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. And he's very special. Plays a very big role in the movie. What do you have to say about him?
Yeah, I'm kind of split on John a little bit. Like you said, he got a good heart and stuff, but like
it seems.
I mean, well, yeah, what he portrays that he has a good heart, but I just don't. I mean, of course, it's the time, so I keep forgetting that, and I'm not forgetting it, but it just irritates me how he talk, you know, or that stepping fetching type of talk. Yes, boss and all that. I don't like that, but like you said, he's very special, so you know that covers up for, I guess, the language a little bit, but just looking at it.
I'm about to cut you off. He knows a lot of stuff, though.
Does he?
He does not know a lot of stuff. He knows what.
I just say I mean, like I said, he seems to be a good person. That's what make you like him.
No, I'm thinking of that one scene.
Not you. I ain't talking about you. I'm just talking about the average person watching.
What made me say he seems wise because that one scene when he was talking to the head scene.
I don't know if he really wise. He just was talented. I mean, God bless him with certain things. That's why I say in the other areas. That's why I say I'm split on it because he noticed certain things, like you said. I just more think that's his soul and his heart more than brain. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I get from it. But I guess I'm getting in my own way about the character because I keep forgetting the times, and then he's walking around barefoot and he has balls, and then he's timid to be so big because how they project, man, he got to be like 6'8", 6'9", and he big, strong, but scared of the dark and stuff like that. But he's a good person in his heart, I guess. So, who's your next character? Or did you want to go back at me? Because I know you like John. I see you making your face about Mr. Coffee. But who's your next character?
Paul. And I'll let you start this one.
Oh, okay, yeah, Paul. That's the head CO guy. Paul. Oh, it's hard for me to say this. Paul is fair. I think that's what I like about Paul. He doesn't do like most people in his position, get full of themselves with their power and the little authority they have and start pushing his weight around on,
He saw the truth.
The inmates. He's honest, he's straight up. Like if you don't bring no conflict, he's cool. But yeah, I mean, for his job and his position, he's cool.
Paul seems like the type of person, as he quotes, he said, he doesn't bring nothing with him.
Yeah.
I mean, he did bring home with him from home, but that's something he can't control. He doesn't bring any attitude, no hard feelings that like someone might have caused him.
Yeah. Like you said, he rather when we was watching, he said he rather talk than.
He doesn't belittle any of them with names like you dirty.
Yeah, he treats them like they're humans that made mistakes. And
he treats them like they're somewhat friends.
I don't know if he treat all of them like a friend. He just treat them like, I'm not the judge. God is the judge. I can't judge nobody. I mean,
not all of them. He doesn't treat all of them like that. The ones that give him,
Yeah, I'm talking about, you get vibes from people. Some people can hide and, try to hide, but sooner or later they gotta show their hand. But he trusts vibes, I guess. But what else you had to say about Paul?
That's pretty much it. It seemed he doesn't seem like you said the whole any. What's the word? Ill will.
Yeah.
Towards any of them.
Yeah, about what they did.
Yeah. One of them.
I don't know if he held ill will to him. I mean, we'll get to that later. I don't know if he held ill will to him. I feel he held ill will to that somebody else had to suffer for
what he did.
Yeah, that's what I think the ill will was. And I don't really think it was ill will. It was just more hurt that I can't do nothing about.
What happened?
No, that's what was going to happen. But we'll get to that later again.
Also, he goes out his way sometimes, even risking his own job to help people he cares about.
I mean, I guess it's going out his way, but if you live by doing the right thing, I don't really know if he went out his way. I mean, if you do the right thing by people you care about, I don't really know if that's going out of your way.
I felt it was going out of his way, since he didn't think about it until then.
You didn't think about what?
Even when he saw no, when he saw what happened, and that he might be able to do that.
Yeah, he did think about it.
But I'm just saying it wasn't like an immediate thought. It came after he visited them.
Well, I'm lost, but we'll get there. Yeah. So, Who's your next character?
I don't have a next character. Who's your next character?
Oh, Percy. Yeah, old slimeball Percy. Percy's a funny guy. He's like a lot of these guys out here. See, he's the average CO I was talking about. He got a job with power. And since he's been a punk his whole life, he likes to abuse his power.
Oh, you forgot one extra thing. His uncle and aunt are, well, one of them is the governor.
I'm just saying, I ain't forget nothing. I said he got power. And when people get power, especially chumps, they tend to abuse it. You just like to talk too much, and that lets stuff just flow. But Percy, you know, he's the average slime ball in a movie. The average slime ball police. He's a nasty, cruddy piece of shit. And he deserves nothing but bad things to happen to him. But, you know, usually like most people in his position with his what's the word they use? His privilege. With his W privilege. He gets away with a lot of stuff. And he with the community that runs the world now. He with the LGBT community too, as we see. So, you know, Percy it's hard for him to lose. He got all everybody that's in power backing him. What do you think about Percy?
The worst piece of thing on this earth. He can go boil his face in hot oil.
Nobody can hear you. You get your hand in front of your mouth.
He doesn't deserve to live. He needs to be tortured multiple times. He's done terrible things. They should have just put him in that cell with the other character that he wanted not to be.
No.
They should have done terrible things like I said, boil his face in hot oil.
Mm.
He knows what he did. He knows that they gave him too much of an easy way out. I don't like it.
Mm. But
I'm
we're
done.
talking about the character, not about.
I did what I said about the character.
Okay. My next character, probably one of the best characters in the movie, no matter how you feel about Billy the Kid.
Mm. I don't hate him as much as Percy, but I couldn't say he's one of my favorites.
He also is beneath the scum of the earth. Whatever, like you said, whatever the worst type of.
Oh no, he's definitely worse than Percy.
Human that you can make, he's it.
Percy did some bad things, but he did the number one.
I mean, Percy ain't too far away from him. He might ain't deal with as much, but
no,
I don't count as many times. It doesn't matter if you done it and you wanted to do it. It's just the same as somebody that did it 100 times to me.
But the thing is, I have 3 rules, and he broke the second rule.
Well, we'll get to your rules later because your rules probably usually mess up our timetable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, just know he's worse.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Yes, he is.
And he's bad, but he also does some good things. He's definitely a bad guy, but he doesn't. I mean, they don't change his past or make you forgive him in no type of way. But he does some good things. But what do you think about Billy?
Like I said, I don't hate him as much as I do Percy, but I wouldn't say he's one of my favorites. He is kind of funny. That's really all I have to say on him.
Okay. Well, let's get into the scenes then. What scene you want to go with?
Paul practice runs with the practice prisoner.
The practice prisoner?
I don't know what that guy's like.
He's most of the time, the people like him probably hot. He's an inmate, but he's a trustee. But Yeah, when they do the practice run going through with him, and my point of bringing that up is because I hate him too. I don't even know the trusty inmate name, but
I don't know. I didn't know they did that.
huh?
My bad.
I'm not saying they do that in real life. I don't know, but I'm just saying they probably did it back then. But I'm just saying, what we saw in the movie, they was doing the practice run, and I was like, you see when he was acting like, oh, he started doing all that begging and crying, all that praying, and I was like, see, he's an asshole. See, because he's not in that position as the inmates that's got to go to that chair.
Because he would be crying, sweating.
Yeah, he wouldn't have probably never been there because he probably done told on 100 people. Anyway, he looked very snakish and slithery, dirty. You see how filthy he is? Nasty. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I brought up that scene. And then you also get to see Percy acting like that. I mean, being usual Percy, working his way up to his grand finale. But yeah, that's just what made me that scene just stuck in my head. That's how he was coming out, coming out, and then please, I'm gonna burn in hell with all this, and he just very disrespectful.
I remember that, but that's not the reason I remember that scene.
Oh, what would you remember about the scene?
I remember how they all was laughing and stuff, but this made me respect Paul. How Paul was serious because he's like, because we have to run this tomorrow with a man's life in our hands. Mm-hmm. And they got all of them to shut up, especially when you're holding the rat.
Yeah.
Because now they have to understand this is a man's life in their hands.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be funny if it was, mm-hmm. If you had to switch positions, you wouldn't like that.
I love that. That shows one of the reasons why I find Paul is maybe one of the good ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a decent one. I mean,
It's rare to find.
I just always saying, get a different job. Be a fireman. Somebody to help people. But, so what's your next scene? Oh.
Billy, the kid's spitting scene?
No.
I actually like that scene.
Yeah, we're going to go the way of the lineup.
Alright.
Because then we can be jumping all over the movie.
Alright.
But no. I'm going to let you run your show. My bad.
So, this is when they first bring Billy the kid. No, this is after they rob him, right?
See, yeah, nah. We're going to do it that way because that's too all over the place.
Actually, no, I just thought my scene.
Go ahead.
It's when they first brought him in, right? Mm-hmm. So he was all drugged up, so he was like a mental hospital.
Yeah, he was at that Briar's mental hospital.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Same room.
Mm-hmm. So they had him drugged up, and they moved him right all the way to their
to the Green Mile.
The Green Mile. And once he was at the door, you could see. They don't see it, but the camera could see.
It shows us him making a smirk.
Getting off the drugs.
But the whole time he was never on the drugs.
No, he wasn't?
No. That's why Paul was like, y'all didn't ask. But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut your scene.
Oh, I thought he was drugged.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Alright. But so, yeah, he comes in right, and he knocks a few of them around, and he grabs Hyman Who by the throat and starts choking him with the chain.
Yeah, because he had that,
it was perfect for showing.
The shackles on.
It was Percy. It was great. Percy's all,
yeah.
Well, he has a clear opportunity to hit him and save the dude.
Yeah, because Paul kept telling him, hit him, Percy. Because Paul was aiming a gun at him and Billy kept putting the dude in front of him.
That's just Percy in the corner, right? Mm-hmm. And he's just like, yeah, come get me, right? Two others are laying knocked out on the floor. And the tall one, I don't know what's his name, come in and knock him out.
I can't think of his name. Dang, what is his name?
I love how he had to take it from Percy. He's like, do something, Percy, and knock him in. And he's like, take it back and we'll do something.
Oh, I think smacked him in the head. He threw it back at Percy like, yeah, he could have been did that. He was gonna. But Percy was scared. That dude had Percy nervous.
I found that funny.
That's one of the reasons I'm talking about Percy because Percy. When they in control, he ready to. He doing all that tough talking and all that type of stuff, but then. When they ain't got the shackles on or, they run around making some mischief or something, he over there scared to death, hiding.
But the reason I was laughing was because of Billy.
Why?
Doing his whole kicking and like, come on, get me.
Oh yeah, he was whooping their ass.
Oh no, but I did love seeing Percy being the scared rat he is.
Yeah, I just wish he would have beat Percy right there. But yeah, I like that scene. Well, my scene is when the warden called Paul up to the office, and when he come in, the warden in there crying.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see he's sniffing, or he was crying, and then that's why I said.
No, he started when he came in after he closed the door.
Yeah, but his eyes was already red, like he had been crying already.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, because what he tell Paul before he brought up his wife's stuff?
He said, I don't know.
He said, I forgot, he said something to him. Oh, no, he was telling him about Billy the Kid. He was like, we got a new inmate. He's about to come in. He's a wild one. He's been all over the city. And then he finally made it to the big league, killed 3 people. Mm-hmm. And one of them was a pregnant woman. He shot her. Killed her and her baby. And he was like, yeah, but he was like, and yeah, because he had told him earlier he got to take his wife, been feeling a little funny. He had to take her to the to town, to the doctor.
Did they get x-ray?
Yeah, and when he told him she had a tumor in her head. He said it was the size of a lemon. And he was crazy, like, I don't know what to do, and he basically said she be acting kind of,
No, that wasn't that, yeah.
That wasn't that scene yet?
No, that was when they visited the house.
Oh, okay.
He just like you say, he started crying. He's like, I don't know how to tell her she's dying.
Yeah. That's what he told her. But yeah. So what do you got to say about that scene? Nothing?
I actually like the scene.
Yeah.
I like how it shows that he's trying his best to save ever, and he's still trying to figure out how he saved her or something like that.
He more probably thinking back then. They seen a lot of people dying from that type of stuff. It wasn't too many miracles, I don't think. So I guess he was just trying to come to reality that his wife was about to die, and I think it was just killing him. Yeah, I just brought that up because it could tell that they must have been friends before they was working there, or they've been working there together so long that they tight, because they spend time together and they go to the same church.
And they hang out with each other.
And their wives hang together, they hang together and all that.
So it shows that there's a close
bond.
Like
they friends. I mean, and as you watch the movie, you know they real friends. But so what's your next scene?
My next scene is the spitting scene. So this is after Billy got captured, right?
What you mean after he got captured?
I mean, they knocked him out and threw him in his cell.
Oh, after he was choking the guards out. Yeah, when he first got to the mouth.
I'm trying to remember how this goes exactly. He's hanging out in his thing, right?
It's 2 spitting scenes he do.
The first one. Actually, no, they're both connected, so I have to talk about both. The entire scene. So it starts off with Paul giving John, his wife, cornbread to thank him for.
Oh, yeah.
Should I mention that or no?
I mean, you can go back to that scene, but that's a different scene.
No, that wasn't. Huh? Because I thought he gave him the cornbread. He gave it to.
Yeah, so that's why I said, see, you be jumping around.
I'll describe the entire thing.
No, but you just might as well do the first scene first.
The first scene, John healed Paul's.
Paul had to go to kept having urinal problems. Like he had a bladder problem, a bladder infection, a urinary infection or something. Mm-hmm. Because the whole beginning of the movie, every time he went to the bathroom, it was like burning and peeing like he had some type of sexually transmitted disease. His wife might have been, doing her thing and passed him something. But anyway, he had that problem. And remember, he went to the bathroom and he peed, and he was in there screaming. He fell out in the out in front of the cells and stuff.
Passing.
Yeah, but Coffee had been calling him earlier. Remember, he kept saying, "Boss, come down here, I need to talk to you." And he was like, "Nah." And then all that other stuff happened with Billy. And basically, when he finally came down there, Coffee pulled him close and grabbed his, did some freaky stuff, grabbed his junk and took all the poison out of his junk. or whatever was the infection. He cured the infection.
Mm-hmm. He threw up flies.
I mean, yeah, he spit out moths or nets. It looked like nets, but then they started disappearing.
Some type of insect.
Yeah.
And he bust the light bulbs.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, electricity. But now you can get to your spitting scene.
And so his wife and him.
Yeah, that's when he brought the cornbread.
Because the wife wanted to take him since they was finally having sex again.
Because he went home and he was crushing them people. She was like, "Oh, we went 4 times. We ain't did that since we was 19. I said, "No, man. Paul been fucked up for a minute." But go ahead.
And so he says, "It's your cornbread." And the other prisoner with the rat was like, "Can we have some?"
Yeah, the
French one.
Yeah, the French dude.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, Delary, something Delary.
I think it was because he was singing the song. And so he's like, "Can we have some cornbread?" He's like, "Sure." And he gets to them, right? And Billy's like, "Let me have some."
Yeah. And he's like, "It's your cornbread."
And he's like, "I'm good."
He's like, "Nah, I'll keep the rest for myself."
And he said,
"Cause he ain't like Billy. You can see how he kept cutting his eye like I don't like him. Something up with him."
And he's like, "You not gonna get me some?" And he basically like, "Hey, calm down." And he spits in his face. And he's better man than me or you probably because he said
any man.
Yeah.
I'm talking about man. I mean, I don't know. Now, if somebody got a gun in your face and then his buddy spit in your face, maybe that's something different. But if it's just you and me right there, and you just spit in my face and I don't do nothing, I don't know if you consider yourself a man. But go ahead, finish your story.
He spit in his face, right? And he says, "That you get it for free."
Yeah.
Next one.
Paul, great man, did that now.
I wonder what happened if he didn't get the first one for free.
Shit, beat his ass at that club. But
and he spit him, and that's basically it. He walked out, right? And then, is that when he grabbed the moon pie? No. Then one of the older ones, I forgot his name. He walked past, right, and he peed.
Billy peed all on his leg. I said, "Dirty man." I wasn't mad, though. He's going into some COs. Because they usually do disrespectful shit.
I'm sorry. Yeah, this makes him laughing and coughing. And so, right? So, like, you have to go into the pad cell, right? Mm-hmm. So, they literally grab a hose and one of those straight jackets, right? Mm-hmm. And sprays him down. So, he's like, "Oh, y'all coming in here for me?" Like, he's grabbing his
he thought he was going to fight. He was looking for a fight. They said, tricked him. No, but that's after, that's after he got the moon pie. No. Yeah, because remember. No, you're right. Yeah, go ahead.
So he gets sprayed down and they put him in there. He's like, "No, please."
Yeah, no, please, no. He was begging, "Don't put him in there."
And after being in there for a minute, he's like, "I learned my lesson."
Yeah, the next day they brought him out.
I don't know what time. I don't know if it was a time period or something, but he had a quarter or something, or a dime.
He had like a nickel or something.
He said a nickel for that. What's it called?
Moon pie. Yeah, because he went to the little hat trustee dude. He was right there eating. And he's like, "Man, give me that moon pie for this nickel."
They're about like $2 now.
Yeah, but
inflation. But anyway, he eats it, right? Or he's chewing on it, right? And another one of the guards, the tall one, came over, right?
Yeah.
And he spits it right in his face. And I said...
Yeah, because he said he was just standing there with his jaws all big. And the Bama came over there looking like, "What's wrong?" But I'm like, why would you do that to him?
Why would you stay so close?
Like, yeah, he a sneaky little wild dude.
I'll be like, "All right."
He just did 4 things. He choked them people out as soon as he came in there, beat up 3 of them. Then he spit in your man's face. He peed on your other man's leg. And then he just spit the moon pie in your face. Why would you? I mean, why would you get that close?
I'm terrible because he said after he peed, he felt poop. I know he ate them.
No, oh man, he would spit shit in his face. Filthy. He probably would do that. If he thought about it, he probably would do it. Nasty bastard.
But no, anyway, so he's been there. And I like that. He doesn't even show it. It shows him wiping it off. And it's funny. It's like a cartoon. He's like, "No, wait."
Yeah, just dragging his ass back to that joint in that padded room.
And he toss him in there.
Yeah. Please, I'll be good. He told me be good. And they keep going for it every time.
Oh. Okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with that scene. You can go to your next scene.
Oh, so yeah, what happened after that?
After that, it was the execution of.
Oh, the
No, not yet. They were practicing for
No, they did execute the Asian dude. Remember, because that's why they brought the trustee in, because he went to the Asian dude went to visit with his wife and them. Is he Asian or he's like some type of Native American or something? I'm not sure. But
I just remember they went through it, and like we said earlier, that was our first scene, the joke.
Mm-hmm.
And so they bring him out, right? And he's like, I remembered. That's what you can describe it, because I don't remember word for word.
You talking about the dude we just talking about before they executed him?
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling Paul, he was like when they shave the middle of his head, because they got to put that sponge on there when they wet the sponge and put the cap on your joint when they electrocuted. Or he was telling Paul like do you think if you really was sorry about what you did, will God let you really forgive you, and let you come on the other side? I mean, come to heaven. And Paul was like, yeah, I truly believe that's how it works.
And then unless you about to go there.
No, go ahead.
About how he is, what he thinks heaven was. About his best times, like when he was.
Oh yeah, and he was saying his best times was when he was 18.
His first wife.
And he was married to his first wife. And he said they used to lay in the field by the fire. He said they used to have sex all the time.
Mm-hmm. Up in the mountains.
Yeah, up in the mountains. They'd just lay there and talk. He said that was the best time of his life. Oh, that's what he said. You think if you ask God for forgiveness and he forgive you, he'll send you back to the best time in your life and let you live right there forever. Yeah. I said that was. I know he felt ill. You get to see your wife and your kids right before they burn you up. But
my next scene.
No, my scene the meeting that when Paul called the meeting for all his homies, where all the dudes he worked with, they come to his house, because remember they had just come from the warden house, and that's when he was asking the warden about. He was like, "Oh, your wife look like. I mean, she look like she's doing all right."
Oh, that was after my scene. I was about to go to.
Oh, well, go ahead. My bad.
It was So what's the name of the French dude?
I said I don't know his last name, like Delacroix or something. Like.
What's the right name?
Mr. Jingles.
Mr. Jingles.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing with Mr. Jingles right there, like, we had to do something about Mr. Jingles after you.
Oh yeah, because he was about to get execution. I mean, they was about to put him in electric chair. Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. You can't take him to your house. This is a big.
He said, yeah, at your house you won't be able to watch Mr. Jingles. Your house too big, Paul. You ain't gonna pay attention to him. He need to be somewhere where he can be treated real nice. Somebody gonna watch him all the time.
And then they made up
Mouseville.
Yes.
Yeah,
some
man.
tourist attraction.
Hey.
Paul made it worse saying
Dog University up the street. Yeah, they had a slow one right there. A slow green one.
But anyway, they're trying to, reassure him, right?
Yeah.
Make him feel like it'd be good for his pet. And so the rat runs out, right? Since he accidentally threw the ball.
Yeah.
Or rolly thing. And this man, what's his name? Crush it. Percy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, every time I think of Percy, I think of Bullet Train. And he crushes it, right? He's like, oops. I told you I was going to get it eventually.
Oh, when he stomped on it.
And you see that everyone has a problem with it. And your man, Billy, Billy? Yeah, Billy.
Billy the Kid.
He grabs her, right? He's choking him out. And he's like, calm down. And he sticks his finger in it.
Oh, that's different.
No, that is the 60.
No, that ain't the same time.
It is.
No, it's not. Because when he stomped on the mouse, he stepped off. And then the French dude, he going crazy, like, oh my God, remember he tried to rush him and they was holding him back, and that's when Coffee was like, boss, give him to me. Give him to me, it might not be too late. Because remember, everybody didn't know that he had the power. Only Paul knew, because Paul the only one that knew that he grabbed him, and that's when he blew life back into the mouth.
My bad.
And Percy was in there cleaning the electric chair and laughing like, oh, y'all mad because I killed him? They was like, nah, we mad. We laughing because you don't even know how to kill her. That was the day
earlier when they had his little performance, and then he came back. He had his little performance with his rap, and then he came back to Freeze Day. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, the scene you talking about is when they was practicing the kill for his time, and they sent them, and the people was acting like they was the here to see his mouse do all the tricks and stuff. And the whole time, that's when Billy the Kid grabbed Percy and raped him, basically.
It made me laugh because, I mean, it's not a funny thing.
What?
Just to see Percy there.
It was funny as shit. He said, ooh, you ain't got no limp noodle. He said you was getting excited for me. I think he got I think he liked me. Yeah, he like you, old Billy. Stuck his finger in that man's butt.
The part that made me laugh.
He got turned on by it too. Freak.
The part that made me laugh is him standing in a pile of peas.
Oh, he started peeing on himself. Yeah.
And it's because the French guy also joined him. He peed his pants like a big
and he said what I told her. He said, yeah, he'd be big and tough when he in charge, but when somebody else grab him, he don't like that. He can't handle the pressure. He started crying like a little baby. And Paul and them was telling him, like, be quiet. Like, you gotta know when to shut up.
And that's why he crushed the rat, I think, actually. I mean, I think he was going to do it anyway, but that thing just made him more angry.
What you talking about? All that is after the rat got crushed.
No, that's before. Remember, since the rat was still alive.
The rat was still alive after.
I just think I thought that happened before.
That happened after. Because, like you said, he just came back from the performance.
Alright.
Yeah, and remember, he was being nice for a minute. Percy was being nice because he was like, when you gonna leave, Percy, and go to the work at the mental hospital that they picked Billy up from? And Percy was like, when you put me out front. Then he put him out front, and he was like, now I wanna do what Paul do. Remember, he get to call it off. He got put the sponge on the people's head and all that. Remember, he wanted to do that. So he was being nice. But what scene we was at after that?
We went back to your scene about him being always good friends.
Oh yeah. Now when he brought all the homies over the house, because like I said, he went to see the warden and the wife was messed up, and then so he done seen Coffee done heal him, and Coffee brought the mouse back to life. So he telling his men, like, man, I'm trying to take John to see if he can help Slim Wife. And all of them like, oh, you crazy? Well, at first they thought, like, he was like, man, I think John can help Slim Wife. They was like, what? No, she's not gonna come to the
prison,
to the Green Mile. He's like, nah. And they said, well, you talking about taking him out? I mean, we can lose our job. He's a big bad criminal. And that's when he was telling them, like, I don't even think he's a criminal. You know, because we ain't talk about that scene when he went to see John Coffey lawyer. And John Coffey lawyer talked about John Coffey dirty because he was a black man. Remember, he compared him to a dog that bit his son out. And he was like, man, yeah, because I believe in him. I believe like he and then that's the one that got choked out. He was like, man, you think he is a special spirit and all that, like he sent from up above? Or like, you know, he was like, yeah. But basically all of them agreed. But he told the one I'm talking about, like, you can't come. Because remember, he was like, my kids are grown. What you call them kids, they married. He was like, the tall one, we can't think of his name. I forgot his name. He was like, he's a single man, but you got young kids. We can't have you going to jail or losing your job. So you got to stay at the mile. And they basically came up with the plan, how they was going to do what they needed to do to get John off the mile without Billy and Percy doing something. Because them was the only people that wasn't in, that wasn't involved in the thing, of course. Did you have anything to say about that scene? So what's your next scene?
I don't have one.
Oh, well, my scene is Percy. Like, once they come up with the plan, remember they got the soda and tricked Billy with the soda, put the, I guess it's some type of sleeping powder in there or something. Because they tricked him with that. He wound up drinking it, passing out. They took Percy. Remember they went in there, smacked him out a little bit. That's when you talking about they put him up in the straitjacket.
No, they didn't smack him. They smacked him when they came back.
Oh yeah, but what they did was rough him up because your man choked him out and then pulled his ears so he could stick his arm out. They strapped him up in the straitjacket and slid him up in there.
Stuffed his mouth and taped it so he could stay out.
Put a sock in his mouth and taped his mouth closed and put him in that padded room. That's crazy. They put him in the padded room. But so then but the whole time when they was putting the knockout juice in your man, as soon as he passed out, John was like, yeah, I'm sure ready to go for a ride. And see, that's the part where you saying he's smart. Because he already knew. They didn't even bring up to him what they was doing. And he already knew.
Multiple times he knew.
And they was like, John, you know what we going to do? He said, help a lady, I think. And stuff like that. But, yeah, I just love to see that they finally, after letting Percy get away with all that little slime ball stuff he was doing, they finally caught up to him.
My scene was remembering of the slimiest thing, but I didn't want to describe it.
What?
The murder of the rat dude.
The Frenchman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could have brought it up. All that happened before. What were we talking about?
I know, I just didn't feel like describing it.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, why you bring it up now then if you didn't want to describe it? You should have left it where it was at. But yeah, the Percy's a nasty dude for that. He ain't even wet the sponge on that. He was so mad at Slim because he laughed at him for peeing on himself, but you done smacked this man's fingers because he was holding the bars and broke his fingers. You keep jumping at him, trying to scare him and talk to him that he gonna die and try to bully him, but he laughed at you for something that really happened to you. You peed on yourself.
Oh, and he just tried to discourage him more, saying, "Oh, your rat's not going anywhere special."
Oh yeah, he told him that in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they lying to you about Mouseville. That was just to make you something, and then hurt him with that. And Slim felt like seemed like he had real remorse for whatever he did to get him put in an electric chair. Then you do that. Then you also don't wet the sponge. So then the man, he had a painful death. I tell you that much. He was basically set on fire.
And they should do the equal thing of putting a very hot pot, very full, tall pot, full of oil, and then slowly but surely ducking him inside. And not stopping until he stopped moving.
But,
next scene, I guess your next scene is him curing her.
Yeah, I mean, all this, I don't really call it next scene because all of it is connected. So when they get coffee off the thing, but also when they get the coffee off the thing, remember Billy the kid jumped up and grabbed him on the arm, like, where you going? And Coffee was like, like he was, every time when he hit lightning and stuff, you know how he get all scared and you know how he be crying and nervous. But he was getting that, that he already had bad vibes about Billy, but he really, I guess his, it wasn't vibes anymore. It was answers. So yeah, did they leave from there? Cause when they went to the, to the Warden house, they pulled up to the house. remember Walter come out with the gun like, man, who was that? And Paul like, it's us. He's like, who that y'all got with y'all? And when they turn on the light, he sees John Coffey. But you know how they telling Coffey, hold up, Coffey, walking right past him, talking to him and all that, letting him know. He's like, what you doing here? I said, I'm going up there to help. And all of them, they wind up going upstairs. And Coffey performed in front of them people. And then what his wife say? She was like, what's your name? After he cured her and all that. He was like, John Coffey. She said, I would like to drink, but spelled different. Because, you know, that was what he always say when he tells somebody his name. But before he was about to leave, she's like, oh, I had a dream about you. I was in darkness, and then you came in the darkness, and you helped me. And then she gave him that chain she was wearing with one of them,
Angels?
No, it ain't an angel. It's one of them, damn, what was them church people called? It's one of them saints.
Oh.
Like something, saint, whatever. But, yeah, basically healed her. But, you know, usually when he healed them people, he cough all of the nets and stuff out. But remember this time he couldn't cough it up because they kept saying, cough it up, big guy. But he was so weak, he couldn't even cough it up. He just kept coughing like you, like with that AIDS. He coughing and he can't clear it. But no, it's like, boy, well, some real stuff. Yeah, he couldn't cough up the mold. I mean, whatever them stuff he be coughing up. The germs, basically. That's what it basically is. Whatever he took out of you, he coughing all that back up into the atmosphere.
I assume the bad stuff.
Yeah, the disease or whatever it is. And yeah. And so once the warden and all them seen all that, you know, live in front of them, then they had to sneak John back to the thing. Once they got back there, that's when, of course, they got Percy about there, smacked him around a little bit.
Smacked him, he fell over for the first slap.
Almost smacked him to sleep, pulled him back up.
And then the interesting thing happened with John, right? He walks out, right?
But no, Big Man told him before John. With Big Man tell Paul, he told Paul, you know he gonna tell on us. Maybe not now, but maybe later. But he gonna tell somebody. And that's when it came out. And you can get to.
So basically, John grabs him, right? And he just keeps holding him, right? And he just he opens his mouth, right? And then a bunch of dust flies as if just shoot into Percy's mouth. It's like Percy's.
He like drunk. It's like he ain't even there.
Not even drunk. He's just like.
It's like
catatonic. And then he gets up. Like after he looks somewhere, he gets up. He walks, right, like a robot, like RoboCop. And then your man Billy wakes up. He started being Billy.
No, when Billy woke up, he was just staring at Billy.
No, he walked past it. I thought.
No, he wasn't walk past. When he stopped, and he was just staring at Billy, and that's when Billy was like, "What the hell are you looking at?" And he was just staring at Billy. And Billy was like, what the fuck you looking at? And started, you know, then he started turning into Billy. Because remember, he was just still waking. He was kind of groggy off that, whatever that stuff was they gave him. And he's like, what the fuck you looking at? Something. He said something to him. Oh, no, he said something about noodle dick.
No.
He did say something
he
about
called him limp, and he said, do you want
to what?
Suck his dick and
stuff. Yeah. I know he said some freak faggot. I mean,
I know.
Homosexual stuff. And he was like, no, your man pulled that joint out. Pulled that 38 out and
filled him with every last bullet in it.
Hey, crush.
I will do this. They did it better than most movies. You know, where he have an unlimited round, keeps firing. He only but
that wasn't a shooting movie, you know. So I guess they said we only need the regular amount, just empty the whole chamber.
Still, I didn't follow it.
Yeah, he let all 6 of them rounds go,
and dropped them.
Yeah, 5 or 6, whatever that goes.
And it's funny because he goes catatonic again, right? He throws at the flies.
Yeah, because he burped all the flies out. Like,
but he's still
John.
But he's still like how he was on the floor, just not reacting to something.
He just did.
just staring forward. And he goes back into the same room at the same hospital he's followed her for, and they got Billy from.
Mm-hmm. In the same stance, same position.
Yes.
Staring out the window just in the days. Only thing Billy was faking. He was, he was just drugged before. I don't think they need to put no Thorazine or nothing in him.
I think he's gone.
Yeah, he just mentally. But that's why it's so funny, because he could have had the job there. Instead, he wanted to do that cruddy stuff to the Frenchman. Put that dry thing on it, burnt them all up. Like you said, they picked Billy up from there. Remember, he told Billy the same thing. Look at you. They tell me you crazy. You old limp dick. Something. Same stuff Billy. See, he didn't know Billy wasn't drugged. So that's why Billy remembered all that. Oh, you was talking that trash, too. That's why he put his finger in his butt, grabbed his joint, and all sorts of stuff. But that's why I was talking about how it go full circle. Both of you two nasty, cruddy dudes gonna get what y'all both deserve and more. See, Billy died quick and got away, but Percy gonna suffer. But
I wanted to get to
when he because that's when Paul walked back down to John, and John said, "I gotta share something with you."
Yes.
Oh, well, good.
And John basically reveals that Billy was the one who killed the two girls he was framed for and raped them.
Mm-hmm.
He found them, and I suspect he tried to, revive them.
That's what he was saying. That's why he was saying it was too late.
Like with the rat, he said hurry because
they got a certain amount of time frame to catch it.
Life leaves. Yeah. And so that's why he was just sitting there. He took the blame because he couldn't he couldn't move.
He took the blame because he was black, and more importantly, the point I was telling you, but he couldn't articulate himself. That's why I said God blessed him with gifts to heal and all that, but he wasn't really the sharpest because he probably was just in there, kept saying what he was saying all the time. I couldn't take it back. I tried to take it back. So when he's saying that, even though them people on racial profiling is super racist, he's surprisingly lucky he made it to the Green Mile, because when the police caught him in that creek with them two little girls, in the real world, back then and now, see, back then they probably would have just strung him up on the tree, called him strange fruit, but how big he was, it would have probably took 200, but he wouldn't have fought back. He would have just let him do it. But anyway, it shows all the breakdown, how that father would have went crazy about talking about this black man, but the whole time you had this freak dude working in your house, eating at your dinner table,
next to your two kids,
with your kids, like he part of the family, and then he sneaked back in there. What did he tell his sister?
He told each of them, "I'll kill you."
He said, "If you scream, I'm gonna kill her, and if you scream, I'm gonna kill her." And that's what John Coffey, he said some real shit. He said he killed them with love. He said Billy killed them girls with love because out of the love they had for each other, they chose not to scream. So both of them died. And it was vicious. And then you bring him in the jump. All them people screaming, kill him and all this. Whole time it's an innocent man. But the dude job was loving was the one that did all the harm to the
They probably
girls.
wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, only way they would have believed it.
If they actually saw it.
If John Coffey would have grabbed them by the arm and made them see what happened. And John Coffey looking through the eyes of God, because John Coffey wasn't in that house when Slim cut the gate. John Coffey wasn't at none of them dinners and none of that. So all that he seen was through the eyes of God.
I doubt they'll still believe it. They'll say, "Oh no, he's lying."
Nah, you gotta believe it.
Did
I'm talking about if I grab you and then you seeing this stuff, you gotta believe it. It's not.
No, I mean, it's one of those things where it's true, but you're gonna be like, no, it can't be this. Especially if that's how you're.
Not if you the parent. If he grabs that mother or father and they see that, they will be hurt that their kid's dead. Hurt even though they racist, hurt that they blamed this dude because as they see that this dude was trying to save their girls, and then they would have really been destroyed because the nigga that did this shit
is already dead.
Was living in their house, was their friend, loved one, and all that.
But I will also want him dead. But now,
man, they ain't thinking about him being dead. They thinking that they put the murder of their daughters right in their house. They put them right in front of their kids. The kids was comfortable enough that if they seen him out in the street by themselves, they would go to him and expect him to comfort them and keep them safe until their parents come. So, as a parent, you gonna feel like trash. Now, them other white people, but I mean, it's different. When they saying God showing you something, I don't care how you felt in your heart. He can change all that because he gonna show you, reveal you the truth. So, that stuff don't matter. But
that's my last scene.
Oh, well, my last scene is that all that stuff happened in the 1930s. 64 years later, that man was still alive. He was 109 years. He said the gift that John Coffey gave him,
letting him see that,
was the curse also.
Because he had to give him some of his magic.
No, he said it was a curse because he allowed John Coffey to get sent to the white lightning. Remember, he said he was supposed to stop it. That's why he lived to see his wife die, his sons die, I guess his grandkids die. And he said, the lady was telling to him, he said, you're going to die too. And I'm going to be here. And the only thing, everybody going to be gone. And I'm going to see them all go. And as he telling her that, it's showing, like, I guess the future, showing her in her coffin dying. And then he go, and the mouse still alive. Mr. Jingles, because he still got Mr. Jingles. Because remember, she wasn't believing him. Because she was like, you said in 1935, 36, you had a grown child. He said, and how old he said he was in 1930? He said, I was 44. Then he said, and that was 64 years ago. So that was what, 2000 or something? So yeah, man. You done?
I'm done.
All right.
That's it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell. And comment down below what's the next movie you wanted to see.
Y'all have a nice night.
Out.